Okay, 295859 water piston body. This is the part we're going to be making next. So let's get go ahead. It's metric. So oops, I clicked on something there. It's metric. So we'll go ahead and start a metric part. So I'm gonna click new, change this to metric, and click standard MMIPT to click create. And then we'll start right here by clicking on this So let's go back here and look at this really closely. So now that that's gotten started, so this is a more square shape that's going to have this feature in the inside here that you see right there. Now you should never put dimensions on a part, so this is wrong. So we're going to get those off of there. This part right here is actually a diameter dimension. Doesn't have a diameter symbol, but you can see that because it comes up here. Now this needs to be dimensioned like this, but pulled off of the part. And because you're not supposed to dimension hidden lines with this one and this one, or these right here, we have to make a section view to cut that out and show how that works. Now, what we also want to do is we want to show this view right here and what's going on with it. So we're going to actually probably end up having an extra view that we'll put over here when we make this part. So let's get started with a 100. Let's say it's 64 by 116 part, and so let's make a rectangle here like this, and I'm going to horizontally constrain the midpoint there, vertically constrain the midpoint of this if I can find it there, and there. This was 116, was it not? And this one was, I forget already. So that one's 116, that one's 164. So we'll make that one 164, right? And so that should be it on that part. So this one's a little more difficult. So this one has a base of 22. So I'm only going to make that 22 tall to get started here. So I'm going to finish this sketch and extrude this out 22. Extrude this, and I want to go out 22 millimeters. Alright, so the next thing I'll do is I'm going to click new sketch right here. I'm going to start by putting those things on the center. So I know that there is an embossed part that sticks up out of there. And I had this student, Tanvi Suresh, that taught me how to do this. She figured out to constrain things and not draw them right on the center because you want to make sure they're exact. So I want to constrain that exact point to that exact point right there. And I want to put a diameter on this that is 50. I already forgot what that was. So we'll make that 50 right there. And finish that sketch. Now the crazy part is when I extrude that, I want to extrude it 54 from the bottom, so it's going to be 54 minus 22. There's probably better ways to do this, but I'm just going to click on extrusion and say 54 minus 22, and that tells us how big that is right there. So next easy thing to do is I'm going to put a hole right through the center of this at 24. So let's click hole. We'll click the hole right there, and I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to say that this is 24. 24. Click this as my reference to the outside there. It's concentric reference. And I want it to go through all, so that's good. Alright, so now I got that part on there. The next thing is about the walls here. And so the walls are 12 millimeters thick all the way around this thing. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go on to this view right here. And I'm going to go in here and click project geometry. I'm going to project the geometry of this outside piece right here. This one. I'm going to click on all of those lines because what I want to do is I want to offset. And I'm going to click this and I'm going to offset it 12 right there. So that's exactly what I want. See, it's already fully constrained. So I'm ready to do that. So I'll finish this sketch and then extrude this feature right there. And I want to go up the height of, well, it looks like it's going to be 78. So it's 100 minus 22. All right, so that is going to be 78. But because it's a reference dimension, I'm going to go 100 minus 20. 100 minus 22. And so that's what that feature is right there. Now, we're going to go onto this surface right here, click new sketch, and I'm going to put this hole in somewhere right here. There's a hole, I believe it's right there. So let's see, there's a hole here, and then there's a hole on the opposite side down lower over there. So it's 88 off the center of the part. So let's see how we're going to handle that one. So it's going to be midway through there. So this is going to be from here to here is going to be 88 divided by 2, which is 44. So there's that. That diameter of that hole, let's see, that tells us that way. We want to know how far off the edge it is there. 66 from the bottom. So we'll do a dimension that goes from here to there. That tells us that is exactly 66. That was close on that. And the diameter going through is 24. It does not go through all, just so we know. So we'll put a dimension on here that says that that is 24 and finish that sketch. Doesn't go through all. So what we're going to do here is click extrude, extrude this. We're going to make this cut. And we're only going to go through 12. I only want to go about 15. I don't want to go through the whole thing. So I just want to go through that one side. So I've got that part figured out. I'll switch over here to this other side. Right click, new sketch. I'm going to do something very similar down here. Put a circle right about there. I'll put a dimension on that goes from here to here. And I'll say that's 88 divided by 2. And this one was dimension of, oops. Accidentally did that. A dimension from, dimension from here to there was, already forgot, 66. So that's 66. And this diameter was 24, if I remember correctly. I was close on that one. Finish that sketch. Extrude this part through. The 15, I want it to cut through there. Like that. So there's my part. Alright. Oh, the other big thing we got to do here is we got to put these round edges on it. So that's 22. The inside here is 6. The outside is 20. So I'm going to start here by putting fillet. Click fillet. I'm going to start with the 6 right there and say that that one, this one, and this one have a 6 on it. The outside here is going to have 20. So I got that one, and this one, and that one, and that one. They have 20. Click apply, and now we're good. Save as. That was 295-859 water piston body. -8-59, and it is a water piston body. Alright. So that's the part. Alright, so that's the, oh look, there's a 6 right here. I didn't catch that before. So let's go ahead and add that before we go too far. So that fillet radius is going to be in the bottom there. And click that, and that's not 20, it's only 6. Click apply. And then we're good there. So now we've got that all the way done. Alright, so save. Click new. And I'm going to start a new drawing. ANSI MMIDW. I'm going to go ahead and change this also back down here to a C-size sheet. Let's see if we can get this done in the time frame here. So I'm going to do this, bring this in, and I'm going to stick with this view right there like that. Right click and enter. And then I'm going to do a projected. I'm going to project this one off over on this side like that. I might have to change the scale of this, and I'm going to do a section view of this view right here, and I'm going to go through the middle of this part right there, continue, and I'll put that one over here like this so I can get these dimensions on here. So now that shows us this section. So we're going to start annotating. I'm going to start by putting on center points. So I'll put a center point here, put one here, and I'll put one there. Centerline bisectors. I'm going to go ahead and put one here and here. So it shows that that's the same there, but I'm also going to put it here and here. So I got that on there. Okay. Okay, so we're allowed to do some things here to break some rules in cases like this, because we're going to see those dimensions on here. Oh, I want centerline bisectors here and here, and this is why this makes this okay. We have these centerline bisectors here, and we put a center mark on this one. Even though that's there, we can now dimension this because we're using a section view there. Alright, So let's start with overall dimension here. Wow, I messed that up. Line from there to there. Right. This one we'll do from inside here. This one ended up being 140. And we'll do one from here to here. And we're going to line that right up. It's close. Let me get in here a little bit closer. Dimension from here to there. And we can't have that like that. You got to move it out here. So that, and I'm actually going to change this dimension. And I'm going to put typical. So that way we know that that is typically that size all the way around. We don't have to worry about that one anymore. Okay. Next thing we'll do is we're going to worry about the width of this part. So we'll go from here to here. Oops, I made a mistake. There to there. And I'm going to put this right about here. And I'm going to worry about this part right here. So it tells us what that is right there. Okay, so now we'll start worrying about things like this. We'll go from here to the center point of this. And we'll do a dimension that goes from, say, here to the center point of that. Can actually put that right here if we want to. Keeps things neat. So we got those two figured out. All right. So technically this view is here tells us how to do that, which is okay. And we're going to put some dimensions on that go from that center point to this center point. Right there like that. We might come off of the edge here. We're going to do one that comes off the edge there to there. Locates that one. We'll locate those from here to here, putting that one in place. Alright, so that kind of lines those up and we can do that. The other thing we can do, even though this shows us how it works, you can do this and put this dimension here. So there's this one, and then this one goes all the way through. So we'll put that one there and we will type in through. Oops, I got to spell it right. Alright, so then that last thing we're going to do here is we're going to put this right here, and we will say it's not through the entire part, but it is through the metal, and we will put 2 places. So now we know that's on the other side. And we're good there. So those 2 are now taken care of, all 3 of those dimensions. This is taken care of, locating it, 1 dimension there, 1 dimension there, and what the diameter is of all of that. So that's good. This should be the entire part. So let's go to save and save that real quick. The other thing I want to do is go to File, iProperties, get this taken care of. Oops. So that should be all taken care of. The summary here is the title of it is what was that called? Oh, water piston body. Water piston body. The company, put your company here, and ours is Kettle Run High School. And we'll change the project here, and so it's not a water piston body there, but it is a water piston body here. So cap lock on water piston body there, and click apply and close, and that's all filled in. So now you're ready to make your PDF and move on. This view is necessary. Well, it should be there because this stuff is all hidden and you don't see all these features. Oh, look, this is why we have to have this view. We're going to go in here and tell us how tall this part is right here. That's got to be 54 high. And the other thing we need to know is what this dimension is right here. So, aren't you glad you watched it all the way to the end? All right. So that's how we get those features taken care of there like that. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, we're going to save it and move on to the next thing.